like $1 million. Well, the economy is tough. We know that. More than ever, people are having trouble making ends meet. In fact, 75% of American households are in debt. Wow, I actually thought it might be higher than that. But today's show is all about saving money and stretching your paycheck. That sounds good to you guys, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, to help us make sense of it all, please welcome financial expert Danisha Danielle. Thank you. You're adorable.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. So your story is fascinating. I mean, you have to tell everybody, how did you come to being this financial expert?
Well, it wasn't a pretty picture, I'll tell you that. After I graduated college, I found myself pregnant with my boyfriend, and...
Isn't that crazy how that happens?
It's kind of. Somehow, I don't know how.
And you were what, 23? 22 years old?
23.
Okay.
23. And during my pregnancy, he was diagnosed with cancer.
Oh, my goodness.
And by the time she was 10 weeks old, he had died.
Oh, my gosh.
When I went back to work, I lost my job right when I went back to work. And so I was laid off on government assistance with a newborn baby by myself.
So what did you do?
I actually did something crazy. Nobody believed me, but I went into commercial real estate, commission-based business. And now, 11 years later, I've built a team and an investment portfolio. And I'm giving advice on finances.
I mean, so the thing that is great, I mean, you are one of us. You have been there, you have done that. Mm-hmm. And so overall, I mean, what advice do you have for people? 75% of this country are in debt, and it's not surprising. You look at, with colleges now and what people are walking out with, in education, they're walking out with $200,000 in debt. What overall advice do you have for all of us that are in this situation?
The number one thing is to look at it. Nobody wants to look at their finances. Nobody wants to talk about it. And you have to look at it. You have to educate yourself. And then you got to do something about it.
You got to make some changes. I mean, because I have to say, having been someone who my house was foreclosed, I mean, you all know that, right? Back when I was in my early 20s, I was, it's in the book. But I was 260 pounds. I had, lost my house. I was not homeless per se, but I didn't know where I was going to go. I had to find and scramble to find a place to live. And I did have to, I was about $200,000 in debt. I owed my family a lot of money. And lucky for me, a talk show came along. I mean, I'm not, the norm.
Right.
So, I mean, what are people to do when they can't find jobs? I mean, the economy is very, very troubling right now.
Well, it's not what you make, it's what you spend. Mm-hmm. So you got to look at what you're spending. So if you've got high overhead, you have to find ways to cut down that overhead and spend less and get out of debt.
Okay, it sounds easy. You make it sound like it's easy, but it's not.
I wouldn't do it if I hadn't done it myself. I've done it like 3 times.
Okay,
so.
How old is your baby now?
She's 11.
She's 11. Do you have any more children?
Nope.
No, and I mean, you are just the success story that we all need to learn from. So, well, we have found one couple who is quickly heading in the wrong direction, so we sent Denisha to work with them. Take a look at this.
We don't know how to save money.
I go back and forth on whether the phones get paid right now or if we pay his car payment. Our bills are always after the due date.
I'm hoping Denisha can help us to be responsible and plan for the future.
My name's Nico.
Nice to meet you. You guys have a budget?
No.
Is Nico a spending trigger for you?
It's just hard to look at him and him want something so badly, whatever that is, and to say no to him. It's just really, really hard. So here's Nico's room.
You got a cool bed here. Got some toys, got some sports stuff. So let's take a look at your room.
Here we are.
Here we are.
So where's the bed?
We can't really afford one.
Where are you guys sleeping?
On the couch.
Well, Nico's got a pretty good life. He's got a ton of toys. He's got an amazing bed. You guys don't even have a bed. Do you guys want more kids?
Want? Yes.
Yes. Plan to? No. We can't afford it. We don't have the money. Of course, I don't want to miss out on having a little girl, but it's not just our debt that we have, it's everything going forward. It's college, clothes, and everything. He's just such a wonderful kid, and he deserves everything. I just want to be able to give it to him.
Well, here in person joining us today are Ron and Tasha. Welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you, Ron. Thank thank you so much for, putting yourselves out there because, you're not alone. So many other couples, families are in this situation. Why are you crying?
I'm just watching.
Oh, seeing it, that the cruel truth is that you really can't afford another child right now. Denisha, what can we do for this family? I mean, where do they start?
Well, I've been working with them for about a month. We've gone through their income, their expenses, and it's not looking good.
What's not looking good?
You guys are spending every single dime you make. And I have to be honest with you, you guys are in a financial crisis, and you are one step away from financial devastation.
Okay, so what's one thing they can do,
Well, their story's not unusual. 1/4 of America hasn't saved a penny. So it's not unusual, and a lot of America is living paycheck to paycheck and hoping that everything is okay. And right now, you guys are status quo, but it's not going to stay that way. So you guys have got to make some serious changes. I know that you want to. I know that you want to have more kids, and you can if you make some changes right away.
They don't even have a bed right now. They're sleeping on the couch. So they're already making sacrifices. What about the fact that your son has a pretty cush room? He's got every toy, it looks like, on the market. So is it just you can't say no to that kid?
He has a really great grandmother. Most of that is his grandmother. And it's hard to say no to her. But he does get a lot.
I know you wanted to send him to private school in kindergarten. You say that's not an option.
Oh, no, that's done. There's no, honestly, you guys are so far over budget that there's no private school. You guys do live in a great area, which is good, so you can send him to public school comfortably, but private school is a no-no, for sure.
Do you think this couple is in denial about the debt that they have?
They're not looking at it. I think that you told me yourself, when you look to see if you can afford something, you see what's in the bank account. And you got to stop that. We're going to have a budget, and we're going to look at the budget.
She looks devastated. Are you okay with all this?
I know what we have to do.
Right.
I know we have to cut back. Neither one of us are planted in our, in not spending.
But you do know that this is what you have to do in order to move forward in life. You have to start saving. It's just not an option to do otherwise.
Right. And instead of looking at what you're missing out on, look at what you're going to gain. You know what I mean? You're going to gain control of your finances. You're going to get into a house. When you get that stuff together, you're going to hopefully be able to add to your family. So focus on that instead of have a bed. Those things are
That's something to look forward to.
Yes.
So who was there for you when you were all alone and 23 years old with a newborn baby and having to pick yourself up? Who was there to give you this great advice?
Oh, God. I kind of learned it the hard way. I've had bad credit probably 3 times in my life, just from doing the wrong things, overspending, not looking at it. And so what I did was I had to kind of train myself. And I had a mentor at my office who was, my first check I had to write into my retirement fund. And so I just started learning some good habits, because these are just bad habits. And you got to look at it like overeating or smoking or something like that. This is just a bad habit.
And this is fixable.
Right. And it is fixable.
It's a new day, people. It's a new day for you, and hopefully for those of you at home watching. All right, thank goodness you're here. When we come back, a couple of our audience members are more than $100,000 in debt, and they need your help, Denisha. She's going to give it to them when we come back. You are the proud owner of $33,000 in debt. How did you mass that amount?
Life happens.
You're $100,000 in debt?
Well, it's from a property.
So wait, is it a situation where you're upside down on it, where you bought at the height of the market and it's no longer worth what you paid? Okay, what is she to do? Debt. Our financial field correspondent and my gay bestie. His name is Josh, and he hit the streets. Let's take a look and see what he found.
So how much debt are you in?
Approximately $30,000.
How long do you think it's going to take you to pay off 30 grand?
I don't know. I'm in the process of trying to figure that out.
I had to leave school because I had to go work full-time. My family needed my support with the mortgage of the house.
Girls, we love to shop, and if we have one pair of black shoes, we need to have 3 or 10 of them.
Or 20.
I currently have about, I want to say $20,000 in debt.
Who spends more money, you or your wife?
It's me, definitely, yes. I have more expensive hobbies than her.
How much debt?
$33,000 worth of debt. We're just living beyond our means. Being on a tuna budget with a caviar taste is just okay. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Ernie, nice enough to come and talk to us in person. Ernie, thank you for being here. How was your day at the Universal City Walk? Fun?
It was good.
Did you spend a lot of money?
No.
No?
But
All
it's
right.
hard with two teenage girls not to.
Hey, don't get me started. So you are the proud owner of $33,000 in debt. How did you amass that amount?
It's just, life happens. When you're accumulating credit cards and you're robbing from Peter to pay Paul, and you're not keeping an eye on that interest rate, and things just start snowballing very quick.
How does that happen, Denisha? Like that you don't want to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. I don't like to look at my statements.
Well, who wants to look at that? You know, who wants to know how much they're in debt? It's never fun. But
Reality stings.
Yes.
And it stings.
And you don't want to bounce that reality check, so
No,
you
you
better.
don't.
So where does Ernie start? I mean, he's got 33. You're sure it's 33, right?
Well, it was.
It was.
I went my last option, and I didn't want to do this because there's a real bad stigma attached to it, is bankruptcy. That's a word, yes.
No,
Because there's a stigma attached to it. Oh, those people just want to use all the money and then just find a cheap way out of it. And I was one of those people, and when I was given to that last option, I kind of went reluctantly.
So did you
okay.
file?
Yeah, we did.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay,
It's been taken care of.
so what happens with that? I mean, for those of us who don't know, you just get a clean slate? I mean, I know it stays on your record for a long time.
7 years.
Okay, and what else happens because of that? Are you able to, you can't get credit at all? You can't buy
Well, you
a house?
can. You're just going to be paying 5-6 times as much as everybody else.
And it's
so it's
all-
not, you're not getting away scot-free, but
Oh,
you're.
I know. I just think it's really funny, though, after you file for it, these credit card applications, after you're not supposed to get
Well,
any
you're
kind of
their
credit,
perfect- you're their
they
perfect
start
candidate.
coming to you, and I just kind of went, I
Good for
didn't even
you.
want to look at them to see great interest rate. I don't care, because I can't do it.
So they still come calling even
yeah.
when you're trying to like...
Yeah, because you're the guy that's going to overspend. So they think, but you learned your lesson.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. I really appreciate it. Where is Desiree? Desiree, stand on up. Okay, I mean, you told us you're $100,000 in debt?
Well, it's from a property, so I just wanted to know, is it better to short sale or to do a loan remod?
Is it a house you live in, or
It's
is
a
it
condo.
investment?
A condo I live in.
So wait, is
that
it a
you live-
situation where you're upside down on it, where you bought at the height of the market and it's no longer worth what you paid? Okay, what is she to do?
Can you do a loan mod into a payment that you can afford?
What they're actually offering is, it's kind of like wishy-washy, and then it's still, I would still owe the $100,000. I would have to wait for the market to actually come back up. They would just put, you know, some of the behind payments
Right.
in the end. So.
Well, some loan modifications will allow for a principal reduction, but if you can short sale it, you can still, I mean, that will still affect your credit, but it will be better than a foreclosure. So first step, loan modification. Second step, short sale.
How easy is it to get a loan modification?
Not easy. They don't make it easy for you to get out of it. So you're going to have to continue. The squeaky wheel gets the oil. Keep calling, get somebody who's going to listen to you, and then that's how you get your payments reduced.
All right, thank you. All right, Shelby, stand up. I know you're 25 and you love to spend.
Yes, I really enjoy shopping, going out with my friends, things that a normal 25-year-old likes to do. And I just want to know how I can sort of help make those decisions about what I should do and what I shouldn't do.
And you are in debt?
A little bit, about a couple $1,000s.
Honestly, Shelby, you're in a good position, and you're wasting it. I mean, you have to be able the one that's in control. Nobody can follow you around, but this is what you're going to have to do for yourself, or else you're going to be down the line $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. And for what? What are you buying?
Yeah, what are you getting?
Well, shoes, purses, vacations, things I don't really need.
Right,
So
and
at
things
least
that
you
are not
recognize
telling
that.
the truth about what you can really afford. It's a liability, and so you're basically lying about your ability to afford it.
It's time she grows
remember
up,
that.
right? You're 25, honey. All right, thank you for sharing. Okay, so I want to talk about student loans. Where's Tiffany? Hi, Tiffany. You have amassed $50,000 in student loans, is that right?
Actually, it's a little bit over $60,000 still left that I've paid off a lot more. I pay about $1,100 a month. And
Youch.
So besides forbearance, which I can't do anymore, and consolidation, which I can't do with some of them because of subsidized and unsubsidized.
You're totally speaking French to me right now. I don't know what that means.
Merci. What can I do to lower my $1,100 student loan payments?
You're going to have to bite the bullet and just keep paying it, because the only other thing that you could do besides forbearance is you could pay it off with a home equity line, and then you could write off the mortgage interest. But they'll give you a loan. Depends on your credit and depends on your income.
Are there homes available in Los Angeles for $200 a month?
Oh, $200 a month?
You never know. You
Probably
never
not
know.
here.
Are any of you guys saving money? Stand up, please. Hi. Hi.
I am currently saving money, and
how? What's the secret?
I am like my grandmother. I'm very frugal with my money. I mean, she would go to the store and she would buy old donuts because they're cheaper if they're a day older. I mean, that's how frugal my grandma is. And so I'm living here and I only go out to my classes. I'm 18. I moved down here at 17, and I've just been, I mean, I don't go out with my friends a lot. I try and save every penny, and I just...
So that's just instilled in her from an early age.
Yeah.
So
love your grandma.
Is your grandma alive?
Yes, she is.
She is watching, and she's proud. But I mean, do you get to have a lot of fun too?
I do. I have a lot of fun with the classes I take. I take.
Oh my God, we are so not made from the same mold.
I get to go out, and I actually live by the beach, and I pay $400 a month, which is actually cheap.
What? Wait. Okay. Do you live in a closet?
No, I have 2 roommates, and it's a 2-bedroom apartment, and I share with another girl, and it's really tiny, but I mean, it's what I can afford.
And you know, it sounds appropriate for an 18-year-old. That sounds like the best way for her to kind of learn and grow her savings. So you are able to put money away.
Yes, I am. I've been trying to save, and
What are you saving for?
Well, actually, I started saving money when I was 12, and I actually bought my first car for $8,000.
Oh my God, take a bow. Take a bow. That's amazing.
So now I'm just saving for gas, and I mean just various.
I mean, saving for life.
Got it. Thank you. That's amazing. Wow. We can learn from each other.